Talk Goalie to Me is hosted by Minnesota native Olivia King. Olivia King played 6 Division I seasons between the pipes for both the Golden Gophers and the St. Thomas Tommies. She began her goaltending career in Brainerd, Minnesota, taking her high school team to the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament twice. Today, she's molding young goaltenders, coaching at both the youth and high school level, both boys and girls, while also chatting with some of the most well-known hockey names across the country. So get comfy and listen in for today's episode of Talk Goalie to Me. Here's Olivia King.
What superpower would help you the most as a goalie?
Oh. I feel like reading minds.
Do you think so? Okay. That's what I thought initially, but I was like, I feel like sometimes players aren't that smart. They just do as they do. They're not really thinking.
Yeah, because I would say, like, I don't know. I feel like, because sometimes they don't know what they're going to do. Like, but if they, like, knew, like, a goalie, I feel like you know what you're going to do. So, like, if you could read a goalie's mind, like, I feel like that'd be more helpful for a player. But maybe
that's
not.
True. Part of me was like, maybe, like, teleportation. But the crease is so small. Do I really need that?
I mean, maybe time travel. Like, you can go back in time. Like, if you get scored on, you go back.
I think that would be the best.
Yeah, I think time travel, actually, that'd be a good one.
For sure. Like, slow motion.
Oh, like everyone else is in slow motion?
Yeah, but you.
Good.
I think that'd be the best one.
I don't know. I feel like still maybe, like, fat go backwards would be.
Fine. That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Goalies, welcome to the Talk Goalie to Me podcast, where we spill all the behind the mask tea with goalies, talk gear that actually works, and hear the crazy stories only goalies can tell. Big shout out to General Sports, where you can get your pads, mask, and everything in between totally dialed in. All right, let's kick things off. Today's guest is Bianca Birrittieri, an incredible young goalie who just helped Team USA capture gold at the U18 World Championships. Her team finished the tournament with a perfect 6-0 record. The first time in event history a team has never trailed or tied after the opening 0-0. In the gold medal game, Bianca was named U.S. Player of the Game after stopping 38 shots in a 2-0 victory over Canada. Bianca grew up in Texas, far from the traditional hockey hotbeds, and honed her skills playing all over the U.S. She's now committed to play NCAA Division I hockey at Providence College, but everyone's wondering how she went from Texas to Team USA. Well, let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Bianca.
I'm so excited to welcome Bianca to the Goalie Pod. This is my first virtual goalie pod, and rightfully so, because she's kind of a big deal. So I'm really excited to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Bianca, how did you get started playing hockey? Because you were born in Texas, am I right?
Yep, definitely not a traditional hockey market at all. I actually learned to skate in a mall that shortly closed, like a week later after I learned to skate. But no, I want to say I was 3 or 4, and my parents we still go when we can. We go to, like, the New Year's Dallas Stars game, and they couldn't find a babysitter for me or my older brother, so they ended up just taking us with them. And I was only 3, and so I just fell in love with the game. It was, like, my first time, like, ever actually, like, watching hockey. Like, I didn't ever watch it on TV. So I just remember, well, I don't remember, actually. I was told, like, that I loved it so much, and, like, I was just invested from, like, the start of the game. Like, I wasn't on, like, a phone or anything like that. And then it took, I guess, for, like, 2 years, I asked my parents, like, can I play hockey? Can I do this? They're like, no, you can't. Like, we're not going to put you in hockey. They thought I would hate it. So, and eventually, after, like, 2 years of, like, being persistent and just asking and asking and asking, they finally signed me up for, like, a week-long learn to play summer camp in, like, the mall that's, like, 10 minutes from my house, I'd say. And so I did that, and they thought I would hate it. Like, they thought it'd be cold. I wouldn't be any good, which I wasn't. It was cold. But I remember I felt like 2 seconds in getting onto the ice and I was bawling my eyes out and I still like wanted to play that. I was like, no, I'll stay. And I remember I just would crawl to the net like that first week. Like I couldn't skate, so I would just crawl and I just always wanted to be a net, always wanted to be a goalie. It's really interesting. So and then the rest of the summer I just did like learn to skate like on the ice at the mall, and then eventually started like the house league, like playing an actual when I was 7, like playing in actual games and stuff, and then yeah, here we are.
That's so crazy because like, I grew up in Minnesota where hockey is all over.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody plays hockey. Did any of your friends even play hockey?
No, I think like in my like elementary school there was probably I remember there was like 2 other kids that played hockey in the school was like 1,000 kids. Like no one played hockey. Like
Oh my gosh.
I think there's more rinks in I'd say like a 10-minute range in Minnesota than there are in all of Texas. Like,
That's actually so crazy.
As many like sheets of ice as we do in the whole state of Texas.
So why were your parents like why did they like hockey? Did they just like going to the Dallas Stars games, or did they have like some connection to it other than that?
So my dad was from like St. Louis, and he's like this big sports guy. He loves sports. My mom did not like sports very much. So my dad watched hockey, baseball, football, whatever. And when they got married, my mom was like, okay, we'll pick one sport and it'll be our sport like to watch in the house, and no other sports can be on TV. And and so he was like, oh, you pick, I can't pick one. And she didn't think he liked hockey very much. So she picked hockey, and he's like, oh my gosh, I love hockey. So then they had, I think before they had me and my older brother, they had season tickets. And then it's kind of been like a yearly thing. We try to go to the New Year's game like every year. And so that's kind of how it started. It was because my mom thought he didn't like hockey, but.
That's so funny. So your parents still live in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you just have one sibling?
I have an older brother, and then I actually have 3 younger siblings. So
oh my gosh.
My brother's 20, and then there's a set of twins, a girl and a boy, and they're 14, and then my youngest sister's 12.
Okay. Did any of them play hockey?
No. They all tried it. My brother played high school, like I'd say probably his freshman year or maybe sophomore year, and then he kind of was like, nah. And then my other siblings all tried it and hated it. Like they didn't even make it past mites. They were like, I don't like this at all. My youngest sibling, she like didn't even like want to learn to skate. So
that's so crazy. So how did you find training and everything just like growing up?
Yeah, so I started, it's like hard because in Texas, like the ice is definitely like, you got to like seek it out kind of. But it was my first like ever like goalie training thing I did. It was like a learn to play once a week for like, it was either 6 weeks or 6 months. And I ended up like that goalie coach I was working with, his name's Thomas Spear. He's now with San Jose Sharks in the NHL. But he was out of Dallas for a while. And so I started doing lessons with him. Like I'd say once a week, once every couple weeks, not like too often. I was young. And so I started doing that, and that was like my goalie training outside of like my team stuff. And then now like I work with Chris Johansson, who like pretty much like worked with Thomas Spear like to begin with. So like I had worked with him like previously, and now he's like the main guy in Dallas. And I work with him like all summer, every time I'm back home. So that's kind of, the rinks are about, I'd say 45 minutes from my house, the closest one. So I drive there, get a lesson, drive an hour back, and pretty much every day in the summer, and then every time I'm back home. So
yeah, what does life look like for you with how much you get to go home and then how much you're in Pittsburgh?
So we like got to go back. I went back after we had like October camp for USA, and I ended up going back home mainly because I got a concussion. So I got to go home for that, and then I got to go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then now I don't go back until June. So I'm in Pittsburgh pretty much the rest of the year. So until I go to college. So.
Wow. So how many teams have you played for? Was it just decided that you'd leave home? Kind of because that made sense for you?
when I was like, so my mom moved with me when I was 12. We moved to Chicago just to face like we be on a better team and like face higher like competition, just because like we're in a radius. We have like Detroit, we have Wisconsin, all the Chicago teams, like we're all really good. And then I knew I still wanted to play boys my 15U year. So, and my coaches in Chicago were like, yeah, like we think you're really good, but like we don't know if you like they didn't know what to do. Like they wanted to right by me. Like they didn't know if I should switch to girls or not. So there was an opportunity to go play in Colorado, and I really liked the coach there. So I played a year there, and then I ended up playing last season in Las Vegas, also not like a traditional hockey market, but because I still wanted to play boys for one more year. And then this year and my mom had moved with me like through all three places. And then this year I wanted to switch. I made the switch to play girls in Pittsburgh, and I love it here. And we have dorms now too. So my mom's back home in Texas.
What do your parents do for a living?
My mom is like a medical writer and like a consultant. So she like works with like, she's a dermatologist. So she's worked with like Avaclear, Accutane, like all those like acne brands and stuff. And then my dad is he's like a computer, like a smart computer person that just on the computer. I'm not sure what it's like. I feel like it's like coding and stuff, but I'm not like.
We'll say he does. We'll say he does IT.
Yeah, that sounds right. We'll say that.
Something. He does something. He's
Yeah.
very elusive.
Something on the computer.
That's so funny. It's okay. I still ask some of my friends what their dads do at my age, and they have no idea.
Oh,
I don't know. He makes money.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I couldn't tell you.
Like, sure. So you mentioned that you always liked kind of playing goalie and stuff. When did you start full-time playing goalie?
Full-time. Let's see. So I I played 1 year of like in-house rec league, and I played like everyone has to try goalie. So we only like 12 kids on our team, and I think we played like a 20-game season. So everyone tried it once, and then I played like 8 games as a goalie, then played the other 12 like playing as a forward. And then my next year I went and played. There was like the Stars Elite, they had a girls program. It was like their first year, and we were technically like a 12U team, but like the majority of our team was 8. Like we had a couple like older players, just because like there wasn't a ton of girls hockey in Texas either. So that was like my first year where like I started where I was like, oh, maybe I'll play like half forward, half goalie, but then like pretty much right away I turned into just playing goalie all the time. And then my goalie partner actually ended up by the end of the season played forward most of the games. And then I was playing goalie like every game. And then so that was like my first year. And then so since I was 8 pretty much I was playing goalie.
Nice. How did you I think it's so crazy, like your story from like you grew up playing in Texas to playing for Team USA. How did you even get in contact with them initially?
Yeah, it was actually I didn't even like really like know like I didn't like ever know anything about like U18 or anything like that, just because like also playing boys like they didn't have that for boys. So like they had like NTDP, but like they didn't have like I didn't like know anything. So it was like my 14U year, I'd say. Like there was a camp. It wasn't national camp. It was like a district camp. We're like, oh, we didn't even like know about this. Like so like I didn't like do it because I didn't like try out for it or anything. But then the next year, like we knew like we went through a district tryout. So I went through Chicago. It was like a district tryout, and then it's like a district camp. And then that was my first year, so 15's camp. I went to national camp, and then so that's like kind of how that was the first year. And then last year I went to 16's camp and then 18's camp, and I didn't end up making the team. And then this year was like the same, like the whole same process, except I like did ultimately end up making the team, which is nice. But
yeah, so it's basically through like high performance.
Yeah.
In Chicago was how you did it.
Yeah, it was like also like because there weren't also like a lot of players, like they made it like where it was like it was like the first one was an open tryout, but it would be with people from Chicago, Missouri, Wisconsin, and like a couple other states, like in the Midwest. Like I'm not sure which one. It wasn't Michigan, but there were a couple other states that, and it was like, I think that's like kind of like where they evaluated for the camps. Like they all evaluated like there.
Yeah. Where was your national camp?
Miami, Ohio.
Nice. It used to be held in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Oh, I heard that was a little rough. Though I heard that Miami's like 100 times better than St. Cloud, but I was like,
I've heard that. Just because, and it also was like, for all the Minnesota girls that went, and there's obviously back, like when I was going, it was a lot of Minnesota girls.
yeah.
And so it was like, we have to go to St. Cloud. Can't we go somewhere cool, like Lake Placid or something?
Yeah. No, I remember, I think I was the first year they moved it, and everyone, they were like, it was like, there were 07s there too, and they're like, this is so much better than St. Cloud. I'm like, this is like nice. I was like, this is nice. We're in the middle of Ohio in the middle of the summer. It's like, I don't know about how nice this is, but I guess I've heard some stories about St. Cloud. So.
When you were growing up, do you think a lot of like the people that you looked up to and the hockey that you were watching was men's hockey? Just because that was kind of all you guys, like you had the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, it was the Dallas Stars. Like, I think I didn't even like, I don't remember watching like women's hockey until the 2018 Olympics. Like that was like the first time I like watched it. And I remember I really looked up to like the goalies on that team. Like Maddie Rooney, Alex Rigsby, Nicole Hensley, like all three of them I looked up to a lot. But like growing up, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm playing the NHL. I want to play on the Dallas Stars. Like so the Stars were like, I was like their biggest fan. I watched every single game on TV, but it never really was women's until like a couple of years ago when I was like new, like kind of like what it started, like kind of started to know what it was.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think is your biggest like idol kind of that you watch and keep up with, men's or women's?
I think it was like for women's, it's for sure Alex Rigsby. Like I remember I thought she was like so cool, and I got to skate with her when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old. Like I was young, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then actually at national camp last year, she was one of the like goalie coaches. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I skated with you when I was 10. I've always thought
awesome.
Like, unreal, and just like I've enjoyed watching her. Like I went to when we traveled, we went to Wisconsin, and I remember watching her play when she shut when she got like the one of her records that she has, like, but I was there for that. And I was like, oh, that's going to be me one day. Like, hopefully, like so I looked up to her a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool. Do you think it's been hard for you, like leaving home and traveling a bunch for hockey, or is it something that you enjoy?
I think it was definitely hard the first couple of years. Like it was definitely like new. I was really young, but like I knew that I wanted to do it, and I knew like I wanted to play at like a high level. And I thought like being in Chicago and like playing with the boys with like we played against so many kids that are now like on national teams, like future NHL draft picks like this upcoming summer. So it's like I kind of like knew it was like a sacrifice, but it was definitely hard, and it's something I like got used to. But definitely like going home is like really nice to like be with my family again for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. I like growing up, obviously I was always at home. Hockey was, not that far away ever.
Yeah.
So it's just so crazy how, people who grew up in Texas and Cali or, places like that, like what a different life they lived and like how much they kind of had to really, really want it. Because, not that people here don't. It's just more easily accessible, and for you, it's more of like a whole family like buy-in.
Yeah, like it's everyone has to. Like my mom was like my parents had to be like, okay, we're doing this, and I feel like when like moving away from home, like I don't get to see my siblings, they don't get to see me, they don't get to see my parents sometimes. Like so, like it's like takes a whole army sometimes to get there, but
yeah, I think that's cool. And then you kind of just got back, honestly, from Worlds.
Yeah, we got back on Monday because we were supposed to come back on Sunday, and they got the huge like snowstorm. Like Sunday, we got snowed in, and then we ended up just like hanging. Like half our team got out because they just drove because they were from Boston, but the other half was like Minnesota, Canada, like the random places. And so we actually just like went on, like there was a hotel pool and we went on like a water slide for like 30 minutes when we were snowed in, and then we ended up getting back like late Monday night.
Nice. So you told me that you like initially got hooked up with USA Hockey through like high performance and national camp and stuff like that. When did you know that you were on the U18 roster?
So in August, there was like the U18 camp was like, that was like, there were 6 goalies, 3 made the team. So you had like a 50% chance basically. And then they told us like the last day of the camp, like the last night before, because we would leave like the next day, they had us all in a room and they were like, this is our roster. Like, thanks everyone for trying, like all of that stuff. And then, so I knew I made it for series. And then in October, there's like an additional camp that was like, it was like a smaller camp. There's probably, I'd say like 30, 35 people there. Like it was a small camp. And they only invited 3 goalies. So I had like a feeling I was on the team, but I didn't know like for sure. Like, because I like never want to be like, oh my gosh, and then like something happens. So I was like, and I actually got concussed at that camp and it was really sad. But but then they sent out like the next day, as soon as that was over, like, you made the world's team. And then it was like, so that's when I like officially knew. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Canada in January.
Describe to me that feeling.
Actually, like, not even real. Like, I was like, is this really like, is this like, am I alive or am I dreaming right now? Like the first time, especially like for series, like I think they had us like all in a room, and I think my heart rate was like so high, and just like that they like announced it, I was like, I almost like started like crying happy tears. I don't cry a lot, but I was like, oh my gosh, finally, like I feel like I've been working like my entire life to like get a chance, and I like finally made this team. Like, I finally like showed like other people like I can play, and then like it was awesome. And then like making it in October, I don't remember because I was very concussed, and I don't remember like the 4 days after that. So I just remember I got the email and I was like, yay. And I went back to sleep. I was like so tired and my head hurt. So
you mentioned a few times that like you've had concussions and stuff. Has that been something you've struggled with like your whole career as a goalie?
No, I've actually had 2. Like I had one when I was like 13. That like wasn't bad, but then I did get one at like this camp and it was like pretty bad. Like I didn't even like remember like what exactly like happened. So like that one was like it was brutal though, because it was like I was out for like 3 weeks and it was like killing me. I was like, I'm like losing my mind. I need to get on the ice. Like I haven't touched the ice in like 3 weeks. Like it was horrible. But like luckily no. But it definitely like I'm kind of like scared still, because even though it's like I got cleared 3 months ago, it's like still like I don't want to get another one because it's like the worst month of your life when you're like, and then like obviously it's like I know people that have had to like stop playing because of concussions, which is I'm like, it's kind of sucks. So
yeah, it is a little scary. I would definitely just say like take care of yourself. Obviously, like I've had a few friends that have had to like medically retire because of it, but I know that like taking the month off or taking the break really sucks. It's just like, but that's much better for you than the alternative.
Well, yeah, and I know like someone that like literally like got concussed, came back too early, was concussed like a week later, and then had to like couldn't play hockey. And I was like, oh, that like I don't want that happening. Like I'd rather take a month than like a lifetime than of not being able to play. So
yeah, exactly. So when you guys went to Canada this time around, does everybody go together? Like you all meet somewhere and you go together, or?
No, we all kind of flew in. Like we all flew in the same day. Travel like getting in was kind of crazy. I left my house, so I flew from Dallas to Toronto to Halifax. And then so we met like I'm from Dallas to Toronto, and then there was like 4 of us. There were supposed to be like 12 of us on the flight, but that like there were so many delays. So the 4 of us met in Toronto, and we were there for like 6 hours. Like the flight just kept getting pushed back. And then so we went to Halifax and got in at about like 1 a.m. And then there was like all the Minnesota people. So like 10 kids coming from Minnesota got in at like 3 a.m. So like we all like were a lot of us were supposed to meet in Toronto, but then just with all the weather, it kind of like just like threw that out, and then we all ended up meeting the next day. We had like not a morning. They moved our practice to be an afternoon practice, and that's like when we all like met. Well, we knew each other, but like met for the tournament.
Yeah. How long were you guys there?
2 weeks. So we got there, had like a couple practices, had a pre-tournament game on Thursday, like the official. No, yeah, Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, one of the days. And like the first like official game was it on Saturday. So we went from Halifax on Friday. We went from Halifax to Sydney, where like the actual tournament was. So it was like a 4-hour bus drive, and then that's where like our official tournament was, and we were there for a week.
Do you think you prepare for those games differently than you prepare for, your games in Pittsburgh?
No, I kind of do the same thing, listen to the same songs, eat the same food. I think the only thing like different, like, and it wasn't like intentionally different. It was just like kind of in the end we knew, like we didn't know, but like it was like assumed it'd be us in Canada. So I think like I didn't prepare differently for it, but like for the last like since I made the team, like I would have like dreams every night that we were winning the game. Like, but so like I wasn't like preparing differently, but I was like just like thinking about it nonstop, like every day, and be like, we're gonna win this game. So
You're just
like,
manifesting it.
Yeah, literally, I think I did, because I actually like the day before the game, I literally had a dream and the score was like the exact same. I was like, there's no way. Like when it actually happened and I like took a minute, I was like, wait. I was like, why is this the same?
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, you had the gold medal game January 18th, and you had, oh my goodness, 38 shots, and you guys won 2-0. You were the U.S. player of the game, and I think overall the whole tournament was so crazy because you guys had a perfect 6-0 record. Like your first time in event history, there was a perfect gold, like never trailed or tied after 0-0. That's absolutely wild. So you guys were just very dominant from the get-go.
Yeah.
And for you, I'm sure that helps. I mean, I know as a goalie, that helps. You know what I mean? You're never having to like claw your way back into a game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that gives you a lot of confidence back there. Can you talk to me about that gold medal game and just like how you were feeling before the game?
Yeah, I think like going into it, like I was like, I feel like going into warm-ups, I was like a little nervous, but like I think like honestly, I think like all of us knew like we had a confidence. Like we beat Canada, we played them in the summer, like we beat them 2 out of the 3 games, so we had like a confidence that we could beat them and like that we would beat them. I think like going into warm-ups, I was a little nervous, like because like the first time like in a big crowd, all of that. But I think like as warm-ups like went on, like you started feeling the puck, I was like, this is like I'm ready. Like this is like the nerves just like went away kind of, and like I like played rock paper scissors with like a random fan in the stands. Like it was like anything to like just like I kind of like, and I think that like helped too, like just take my mind off of like, oh, it's like just a game. And I think Coach Court, our head coach, like came in and she's like, just play how we've been playing and like we'll have success. Like it's whenever you try to change. So like everyone just stuck to our game. And I think also like as a goalie, I had the confidence, like say I do let in a goal, we've scored 50 something goal, like we're gonna score. Like there's I don't need to be perfect. And I think that was like a big confidence thing too, is like not to put like pressure on, like I just like didn't put like any really pressure on myself. I was like, if I do get scored on, I think we're gonna score too. So like I know we're gonna score. So
do you think it was hard because you were in Canada and there was so many Canadian fans there?
Honestly, I think like our team started to feed off of it. Like it was a little nerve-wracking a little bit, but like I mean they got their first like really good chance like early on, and when I saved it, I was like this is it, like we're ready like for it. And I think we just like fed off their crowd, and then like ultimately like we like scored our chances, and like whenever we were playing well defensively, like the crowd started to get quieter. So it's just like I think we just fed off of their energy, even though like they're rooting against us and like people were like, oh, you're the underdogs, like all of that. Like I think we just fed off of it, and it really helped our team like succeed in the end.
Yeah. Was all your family there?
Yeah, so my parents came, my grandparents came, my grandma's best friend came. My goalie coach from Texas came.
That's
And then for
awesome.
the first half of the tournament, my family from Vegas that I lived with for 4 months last year when I played there, they all came too. So it was like definitely had a cheering section, and they had like their big fat heads and everything, and they were like as big as me, and I was like, oh my goodness. I could see them. They were like sitting high up for one of the games. I could still see the like sea of red Canadian fans, but
That's so sweet. I think it's cool that you also get to have those connections like with billet families, and
yeah.
you've got to meet a lot of different people through hockey because you've been kind of everywhere. Do you think that, like those relationships are something that has helped you along the way, like being able to get a different perspective from all these different people?
I think so for sure. Like I think like especially in Vegas, like they're like they did so much for me, and they're just like they just add like to your support system, and it's like someone like it's like a family away from like your biological family. So like you have like more people you can lean on, and just like you have like support, and you have their encouragement, and like you get like a text before the game like, oh, good luck today, you're gonna kill it, we know you will, we'll be cheering you on, like all of like it's kind of like they're just like another part of your family. So I think for sure it like helps because you like know people have your back, even like when it doesn't seem like it, you like know you have a lot of people.
Yeah, that's really sweet. How was the celebration, like in the locker room and everything after that? I just like can't imagine how exciting, how fun that was.
Oh, it was, I don't even like, it was crazy. Like I remember like there was, I think I've even watched it back like so many times, and like there's 5 seconds left, and like jumping up and down in the crease, like I gotta like this needs to blow the whistle or blow the horn, like and I remember throwing my gloves off, and I was like, I started like going toward the bench, and then I see like Jane Daly coming to my right. I'm like, oh, I'm first person to me. I'm like, I'm throwing my gloves off. And then that was just super exciting. And we stayed on the ice for like, I'd say like an hour. Everyone was taking pictures. We were at the rink until midnight, I swear. And then, and then we like, eventually when we did go back to the hotel, like they had all our family there. Everyone was there like waiting for us. So we got to like interact like with our families, be with our families, but also like each other. Like we were all in like one like big area. They had food for us. And then I don't even think like we didn't really sleep. Like we kind of stayed up all night. Like I couldn't sleep. I think I did try to sleep because it was like 4 a.m. and I was like, I gotta go to sleep. The bus leaves in 3 hours. Like I gotta try, and it just wasn't happening. So
I feel like there's no way I could sleep after that.
no, I couldn't. I was like, because we were all like hanging out, and like some people didn't like even try, but I was like, I'm gonna be like the crankiest person at the airport tomorrow if something goes wrong, trying to get through customs with 0 hours of sleep. But I think I tried, but luckily our flight did get canceled, so I got to catch up with sleep the next day. But we were literally just hanging out until like 3, and then I was like, I got to try to sleep, but didn't happen.
What does the rest of hockey season look like for you now? Like you go back and you just continue to play until you go to college next
Yeah,
year,
pretty
obviously?
much. Like we came back. I got back on Monday of last week. We had games in Philly this weekend. Like so right away I had like one practice, and then we had games. We were supposed to have 4, but we ended up only having 2 because the winter storm like came in. They're like, oh, you guys got to get back because we got 15 inches of snow. And so now we have a tournament next weekend, and then like we have like one more tournament, and then we have districts and nationals, and then we're like kind of done. Like we'll have practice every day, and I do like the academy here, so it's like an extra like skate and workout and video like every single day. So I have like that all the way. I think that runs until the end of May, early June. And so that's like the rest of the season basically. Like games are over in 2 months, which is kind of crazy because I don't know, it just seems crazy that college is that close already. But
Yeah, you mentioned that, before we hopped on the call that like you've already graduated. So most of your life right now is hockey.
Yeah, it's literally like all I do. I leave for the rink about like 12:30, get there at 1-ish, and I pretty much just stay there until 9 o'clock at night till team practice is over. And then like that's pretty much I'm trying to get a job, but I'm trying to get a job at the league. So I'll be able to leave for an extra 4 hours. Why not? I'm already there 8 hours a day. So
Yeah. Why
what's
not?
for?
And you're gonna be super busy next year, obviously.
Yeah.
How did you committed to Providence?
Yep.
How did you decide to pick Providence?
Like there's a lot of reasons. I think like a big one for sure. So last year at national camp, one of the goalie coach there, Katie, she was one of the goalie coaches at national camp. So I got to work with her like on the ice because they do like goalie sessions. So I got to work with her, and I was like, oh, this is like I really enjoyed working with her. And she like played professionally, and she played U18 like she played on like USA, like all of that stuff. So I I really enjoyed working with her. I wanted to like keep doing that. So she reached out after like the camp was over just to tell me, like I hadn't never like really heard of Providence just because like it's in Rhode Island. I guess I didn't like hear of a lot of schools until like they started reaching out. And then like after like doing some research and stuff, I went on a visit and I was like couldn't see myself going anywhere else. Like I love the campus. I love that it was like smaller because I've always done like either online school or like the hockey academies. So there's like the hockey academies have like 100 people in them. So there's not like, I think Providence is like 5,000 maybe. So it's like not a big school at all, which I liked. I liked where it was for like, I always knew I wanted to be in the East Coast somewhere, like just because I've played West Coast, Central, like all that Midwest. And then also like I like that it was a Catholic school, and then because I'm Catholic, so I liked that. I liked all the coaches. I liked the camp. Like I liked everything about it. Like I was like, I went and I was like, oh my gosh, how have I never heard of this place? Like this is awesome. I want to go here for sure.
I've heard such good things about their campus, like that it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I like was talking to like some of my like friends that like don't even play hockey, and they're like if we had like a lot of money or something, like, and they like wanted to move out of Texas, like not do an in-state school, they're like Providence is like really nice, like. And I was like, the campus is so nice. Like I went on my visit. I was like, I literally told my mom, like, I'm going here. I'm not even going to visit anywhere else. Like I'm going here. So.
That's awesome. How was your recruiting process?
It was definitely like different because like, so I didn't like know anything. So I'd been playing boys, and I hadn't really done like, I just did like the national camp, my 15U year. So I didn't really know a whole lot. So I didn't do my due diligence of like reaching out to schools or anything like that. And so I didn't really get any calls like for the first like month until like I got like one. And then it was my first, like after my national camp, like I played well. So I started getting like a lot of calls, and then I committed in August, like right away. But like, it wasn't like, I feel like it wasn't like your normal one because like I just didn't do my job of like reaching out to schools and stuff. I just like didn't know I was supposed to do that. So, but then in July, like it's when I like things started happening, and then shortly in August, like second week of August, I went on a visit to Providence, and I was like, I'm going here. I'll cancel my other visits. Like this is where I want to be. So,
yeah, that's really cool. I think most of the time, like when you visit, like you know,
yeah,
it's just a feeling. You know, it just feels different. It feels like home already.
yeah.
And do you think that, coming off such a high, you just won U18 World gold medal, do you think that kind of helps you with your confidence, like going in as a freshman? Or do you think you're still a little bit nervous?
No, I think it definitely helps with like, I think it definitely does help because like you're playing with like the best in the world that are all going to like colleges too, and like they're like the best players like you can possibly play against, and like playing well, it's just like another, like it's like a boost of confidence kind of. So going into obviously like there's a lot of confidence, but there's also like a lot of like, I guess I don't want to say expectations, but like from other people, like people have expectations now. So, but it does give you that other layer of confidence. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, You mentioned that next year, as of right now, there'll only be 2 goalies at Providence.
Yeah.
And I think that's so fun for you, especially because, obviously you're coming from a team right now that has 2 goalies. So you're used to it and like
Yeah.
you'll be able to, like handle that cuz say you were like an older goalie, you're used to having 3 goalies and then you're a senior and now you have 2. Can be a little tiring cuz you're not used to it anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that will bring you like a lot of opportunity and that will be, super exciting. When do you have to go to campus? Do you go in the summer or are you waiting till the fall?
Yeah, so I think the month of July, I want to say. I think that's what I was told. Is like the month of July, like all the freshmen will come. We'll do like a summer class or 2 and then or something like that. And then we'll like get a practice like at the rink with them. And then like I think we get to go back for a couple weeks in August and then right back like to start the season starts mid-August, I think. So we go for the month of July, get to meet everyone, which will be nice. Like get your feet wet with college classes and then yeah.
That'll be good. Especially that you mentioned that you do like online.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it might be nice to get on campus and like get a
Yeah.
class in there.
It'll definitely be nice. I think
Yeah.
I only did like sophomore year like in person, so and it was the hockey academy, so there's like it was like through a public school, but like we only went to school 1 day a week and then the rink the other days. So
a lot of people do the hockey academies now though, so I'm not
Yeah.
hating on it.
No, it'll be nice to go to like a real class though, I think. So
Yeah, it definitely will take some getting used to, but it's fun. It's
It'll
good.
be
And like it's fun with the girls, like if you have classes together, which I'm sure you will. It's a small school, so that'll be cool. Do you have to live on campus?
Yeah, I think I know for sure you do freshman year. I don't know about sophomore year, but I think junior and senior year kind of do what you want, I think. But freshman year you do have to live on dorms in campus. So
Have you decided what you're going to order for gear?
I'm getting all true.
If you're a goalie, you already know finding the right gear is half the battle. That's where General Sports comes in. They've got the best goalie setup in the Midwest: pads, masks, sticks, skates, everything built for the ones crazy enough to stand in front of 90 miles per hour slap shots. The real game changer, their Goalie Lab, where you can book a one-on-one fitting with a goalie specialist like me to make sure your setup actually fits the way you play. Doesn't matter if you're just getting started or chasing championships, General Sports makes sure you're dialed in. So before you order something online that might fit, go check out General Sports, because every save starts with the right setup, and General Sports makes sure you've got it.
I don't know. I haven't decided like what colors I want to do though, because it's just black, silver, and white. So I'm not sure. I feel like all silver would be sick, but I feel like that's a little bold. Like I don't know if I can go and I don't know if as a freshman you can get all silver gear. I feel like you might get flamed.
I feel like it would be awesome. Like it would be sweet. I feel like if you were like a senior, it would be like, yeah, like
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, I feel like as a freshman, it's a little bold if you show up and all silver. I don't know about it, but I think.
But also, like, it makes sense. Like, I feel like, like your team's colors and stuff, like, it makes sense.
Exactly. Like, it's no different than if someone did like all red. It's just all silver.
Yeah.
But I
That's
think
so
maybe
funny.
I might go like I've had black pads for the last, I want to say since like 12U, like a long time. But I'm thinking I might go the white route and add silver and black to it just to change things up. But I don't know. Like I'm not sure yet. I just know I'm getting everything I have now, but just different colors. Like I'm not changing the specs. I like what I have.
Yeah, that's nice. It's so fun in college to finally get to like order all your stuff, like all matching stuff. Don't have to worry about anything. Get your paint on your helmet. It'll be so nice.
Yeah, because I got my mom let me get custom pads this year just because it's my last year and I needed new pads anyways. I was like, Mom, it's the same price. But I didn't get I don't have the matching gloves because I've had those. So they're just like black and silver because they're neutral. But but I was like, Mom, come on. Like, it's the last year. Like, it doesn't matter if I switch teams because I'm getting new pads next year anyways. So it doesn't matter.
That's true.
So I did get like the yellow. I got the black pads with like yellow and white accents on them for Pittsburgh, and then I duct taped them up for Worlds. Actually,
I saw that. It looks nice though. You can't
yeah,
tell.
a lot of people actually like, yo, did you get new pads? I'm like, no. I'm like, no. Like, it's just tape. I peeled it right off the next day. But it turned out like pretty good. Like, it didn't peel at all. Like, I think like a part did peel like before the tournament, and my mom just redid it. So
it looks. I thought they were your pads. Like I thought they were customized. So couldn't tell the difference. They look nice.
yeah, there were like a couple pictures where like they were like really shiny. You're like, that's like, I'm like, that's tape for sure. But other than that, like you really could not tell.
Well, to wrap us up, I thought, we could talk a little bit about just like how, if you were to talk to somebody else who is like in your position, who grew up in a place where hockey wasn't super common for, people to play, especially like girls to play. I've been to Texas too, and it was so funny. Like people were asking me like, I didn't even know there was women's hockey. I'm like, oh yeah. Yep, there is. And it's just not common.
Yeah.
So like what advice would you give to, like maybe like a little girl that was like in a similar position, who wanted to play for Team USA, who wanted to play college hockey?
Yeah. No, I think just like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you it's not possible. So I think just like if like I feel like it sounds cliche, but like if you think it's possible, it's possible. If you really like put your mind to it, you work hard, you do all the little things right, like it is possible. And just to remember, have fun, because sometimes I forget to do that too. I put all this like pressure on myself, and then like it's just hockey. Like have fun with it, and don't listen to the haters, basically.
Honestly, though, that's so true. I love it. Well, thank you, Bianca. Honestly, like it was so great to talk to you, and so exciting. I'm excited for your future and all that you've got going for you, and your time at Providence. So you're gonna be there. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be there before you know it. It's gonna come so fast. So
yeah. Thank you so much for having me on.